What I'm going to go through, instead of starting from the top and going just through everything now, I'm going to go through some of the niche sets so that makes it a little bit easier to know what to get rid of. Said Fury, you're just not going to use that right now. You're just not. So unless the piece is like a 5 or 6 star with attack, like crit rate, crit damage, speed, and attack percentage, like it's probably not. Well, not on a shield. You can't have attack percentage on a shield. But unless it's pretty ideal, I don't think I would keep any Fury gear, honestly.
But it looks so cool.
I mean, I know you have a shortage of some of the 5-star stuff, so we could try to keep. I'm trying to think.
Just get rid of it. If you feel like
Yeah,
you gotta get rid of it, just get rid of it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. There's just so much other stuff you're gonna use, especially if you actually start grinding your dragon better. What's this one? That's not flat attack in there. No. Of course it rolls flat HP, right? Let's see if this is worth rolling up. Nope.
Yep, that's exactly what happened right there. I was like, I got that 1 HP, and I'm like, literally any other stat, I would have been like, okay, maybe we'll go to 8 and see. But no, I was like, I'm over this. This is terrible.
Cursed is another one of those sets I only use as a mix set piece. I mean, I probably should keep some 5-star with like speed and crit rate for you, because that could be used as a mix set if you roll it up. You know, it doesn't. Everything's not about sets always. It's stats over sets, especially with building like a very speed-tuned clan boss team. So it's not the worst thing in the world to keep maybe some of these pieces, but ideally we'd be looking for epics, not just a rare.
Yeah.
But I'll keep that. I mean, that speed and crit rate are what you need on most weapons. Crit rate with speed as a glove could be used in a mixed set, so we'll see how you stack up with some of the other pieces. And speed boots, you just need them right now in general. Daze set I use when I lacked stun set gear. Of course, stun is the better version of this, but it is good to put on faction war people. I mean, it's just some other form of crowd control on someone that does any AoE damage. So it's worth keeping, I think. I still keep sleep gear even. So unless it's just terrible substats, I'd keep some sleep gear for your faction war people. Even just like your random like some level 40 that you're just thrown in there to do something, it's gonna be helpful. Yeah. So we're almost. I mean, pretty much speed is king for most of this gear. Like, you want to get people going fast.
Yeah.
Let's see. And now, one thing to note too, with if you're looking to compare, like, oh, I have a whole bunch of stuff with like defense percentage. Like, when it comes to 5-star gear, like, and 6-star gear, like 4%'s the lowest. Like, so that's actually like, you're not going to get quite as much out of that. All right, let's see what we got with just leaving stuff with speed. Okay, double crit rate, crit damage, that can be handy. That's not so bad. You got a double speed roll there.
And I actually only rolled that up because it was during a artifact enhancement, and it was a 5-star Lego. I was like, okay, this will give me some good points.
Just because it's a 5-star Lego doesn't mean it's any better than some of the other ones. Just depends on.
Well,
but it did.
At least it was for like the event.
That's for the points. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So crit rate with crit damage, that's pretty nice to get together, but unfortunately we got double flat stats here, so I probably wouldn't keep something like that. But I mean, it depends on how much crit rate gloves you have, so maybe we'll have to compare.
I was going to say you could also just roll it up a little bit.
Yeah, and see what it gets. It just, well, the best thing to see is like, yeah, does it hit that thing you don't want? That's the first question. Let me sell.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, like if this rolled flat defense, you'd be like, never mind. Be like, oh, never mind. We could do that. Let's see. But it also it does depend. Like if you don't have a lot of crit rate gloves, you might have to get desperate. Depends on what you got. So of course, I mean, HP is not probably going to be ideal unless it's an HP based champion. But you know, at least it didn't roll a flat defense. We'll keep it for now.
I was gonna say that could go on my Magnar.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna use mixed set pieces, especially with using the optimizer. Although, if you're using the optimizer, you need as much as possible rolled up to at least 8.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. I don't use the optimizer as much as I wish I could because I just don't have enough stuff rolled up, and you're not gonna get a pure, like, proper sample size there. It's just not gonna, like, pull enough details because it doesn't know what things are gonna roll. It only can tell you the base stat.
That's why, like, if I see, like, a certain build, I'll, like, before I actually go equip it, if it's something really low, but it has, like, the substats that it's looking for,
Mm-hmm.
I'll at least go up and roll it up to, like, 4 or 8 or even 12 sometimes, depending on how it rolls.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of basically recalculate, okay, is this good or is this bad or how does it change?
That makes sense. I know I hate when there's legendary gear. You're like, well, what if I got a triple, whatever, or that's the hard. A lot of things. The answer is depending on how it rolls.
I was gonna say that helm. I think the reason why I kept that helm, one, it's because I'm a hoarder, and
Yeah.
two, it's because what if I get that quad accuracy roll?
Yep.
Like, what if?
I wish earlier on I just rolled stuff up as I got it. I'm doing that now. It only took me 2.5 years. Like, as I get stuff, and I just roll it up immediately now. I just don't even... It's hard to do that early on, though. It's really hard when silver is a little bit more.
Hey, you're making me silver right now, so
I'm
okay with it.
Yeah, I mean... I'm trying to only save stuff that you could use as good mixed pieces, which means usually it's just speed and crit rate, because other than that, you're just gonna... or like HP with speed and accuracy, like, is a hard combination. So that's a good combination as well. But we'll work on it. Let's see. Where are we at? Regen gear. There is a challenge. Have you been doing your challenges? Those quests?
The challenges or the missions?
The challenges. Because there is one that says equip someone with... Although... you can do it. So equip someone with a regen set. It's like, okay, sure. It's just like, it's a stupid random challenge.
Yeah. I think I only get challenges like not knowing about it. Like I just do something in the game and it's like,
the ones at the bottom. It's
the mission.
It's like with the missions, they're called challenges though. I'll show you. It's like the annoying ones where it's like, get a 3-star shield from Kirat Castle. Get a 3-star. Did you do those? You know those?
I've been working on my missions. I know that much, but challenges I don't.
Okay. Yeah, they're kind of annoying. They're all really dumb. And a lot of them are kind of mislead you too. A lot of the stuff is like, upgrade your Great Hall attack to whatever. You're like, no, I don't want to upgrade my attack and my Great Hall. I want to focus the more important stats. They're still a little bit
I was
broken.
like, they were like, I know at least for the missions first starting out, it's like, oh, equip a champion with all attack percentage boots, chests, and gloves.
You're
and
like,
I'm
no, don't ever build a champion that way. Yeah, please never do that. It's like super misleading to new people. To have people actually do that. Alright, immunity, this is going to be more than likely an arena set. Again, only for a cleanser, so only for someone who you want fast and to survive. Well, I can't say that. Some people build immunity on some damage dealers for arena too, but that's super endgame stuff that I wouldn't even think about right now. So we don't need to keep this stuff unless it's actually really good. Or potentially really good.
Yeah, like, honestly, I want to get to a place where basically I have any dungeon, at least for right now. My goal is to get any dungeon on level 20 on farm.
Yeah.
And then even if I absolutely have to do a 3 key for Nightmare, that's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, that's fair. It's gonna be all gear. This is gold right here for an immunity set person too. HP percentage 6-star that could roll a couple speed. That's a nice chest right there. Alright, shield. Again, shield is for HP based champions 99% of the time that you want to just help put giant shields on your people. So this is a really, really great shield there. I mean, probably not with the attack, but that could be a good mix set piece on a damage dealer if you're needing just the right combination of a crit rate. That's always a thing too. A lot of people a lot of people always want double or triple rolls on stuff, or they sell it at like more end game builds. Sometimes you only need 5% more crit rate to finish your build, so it's kind of a little bit. I don't mind keeping smaller things with like as far as rolls on the good stats, because sometimes you need them. I'm not even looking at the smaller stuff because this is not a set you're going to be putting on most people. I mean, you could definitely use them in faction wars too. Like, try to find someone in each faction to throw a shield set on, and that'll help you get through a lot.
Yeah. My biggest struggle for faction wars is, unless it's my dwarf team, because my dwarf team is my baby, because Rogni.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But and my barbarian, actually. I found out that my barbarians were beating my dwarfs, and I'm like, oh heck no. Oh heck no.
That's funny.
But other than like that, I honestly can get to the first boss, but then I struggle on the boss.
Okay. That's pretty typical. The bosses are way harder than the actual, like, everything else. It's kind of ridiculous.
Until you get to 14.
Yeah.
14's hard, and then 15 you're like, where was the power curve?
That's the problem.
There was none. There was no curve. It's here, and then it's here.
That's true. They've nerfed the bosses a couple times. It used to be really hard to do the bosses, and now they're like easier, but they're still hard.
I have learned that I've gotten a little bit better at progression on the bosses, killing the ads first.
Okay.
I didn't know that until like I.
Yeah, it depends on the boss. Some of them you can just go for it. Some of them it's better to kill the ads. Depends on the boss. So, right here I just noticed this is an attack percentage chest and a shield set, but this, if you roll speeds, this is a good mix set. I mean, not that you want flat stats, but where you are, 5-star attack. I have a shortage of attack percentage chests personally, I know, especially with speed on them. So if you roll speed, cool. If not, I'd probably get rid of it, unless you are desperate for attack chests. We'd have to see how many you have. Alright. Let's go on to Relentless. Yeah, Relentless. I still find myself not having enough Relentless gear all the time, because I like to build all, like, Syl of the Drakes in Relentless gear is great, who you're about to be getting. Syl with Relentless and Immortal, or Relentless and Speed, or Divine Speed. It's kind of where you want to go, because she can just go again and be able to revive more often.
Yeah.
So I might actually keep that, just because you might need that first. It's worth a try to see if you can get decent speed on her for that.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've kind of learned from Hell Hades. He's like, I need to pump the brakes a little bit. I tell everybody that Syl of the Drakes is amazing and Relentless, and then people go do it and it's terrible because it's all like bad stats.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's Relentless with good stats.
That's the trouble. People like to hate on people like Hell Hades for putting out blanket statements like flat stats in the bin, but you need to realize there's clarification there. And if people actually listen to Hell Hades, they'll realize he does clarify these things. People just don't listen. They just take things at very face value and just take it as an absolute, but it's like, no, we're not literally saying bin every flat stat. Don't sell your speed boots.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, oh, what about accuracy? Accuracy's a flat stat. I'm like, what?
No crap, but that's not what we mean. But people don't know what that, like, that is flat, like, big statements like that gets people in trouble sometimes. But he does clarify if people actually listen to him.
Yeah.
He's the big guy. People, it's easy to, the more popular they are, the more you're going to get haters too.
Haters gonna hate.
Yup. There you go. You do have a speed relentless boot. I don't even care what the flat stats are. Oh, what the stats are on that. I would be that 6-star speed boot relentless gear. That's probably going to go on your Syl the Drakes if you can get decent speed on her. I would say.
That's what we're trying for.
We don't have a good chest for that. We don't have a good glove though. Ugh. So maybe
like,
not.
Literally, I feel like Syl of the Drakes is gonna end up like Ninja for me. Like, I have a funny story. I was progressing through Doom Tower.
Yeah, we don't quite have the set here, but maybe you do on someone else. All right, go ahead.
I was progressing through Doom Tower with Ninja at level 4 on my team.
That's fun.
No joke. And I was actually telling people, because it was during a stream, I was like, I'm actually progressing on floors that I haven't done before.
I haven't even built mine yet.
and he's level 4, but he had 100% crit rate. He had like 100 and at least 100 accuracy, if not like 150. And he I still did the stats the way that I needed to set him up, and he was solid. Like, he was in there killing it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't even built mine yet. There's a lot of champions like that I have put other people ahead and then forget about them. And you go back and like, oh my god, I still haven't built whoever. I still haven't built my Skull Crown and Senacia.
Oh yeah, I just got Senacia, and that's actually going to be my what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do a blender comp.
Okay. So I'd be pretty picky with your Savage gear here. I would be not saving, definitely no 3 or 4 stars, no reason to save them at all. Because if you're going to be putting Savage on someone, they're going to need to hit hard, and it's going to need to be good gear. Otherwise, you're just going to put normal crit rate, crit damage, and like attack percentage related stuff and not worry about Savage gear. So I'd be pretty picky on your Savage gear, because that's kind of more of a later game desire anyway. I mean, I did have good Savage gear on my alt, and I was able to put my Skull Crown I use for farming campaign on my alt, and I had just enough gear to get her the right speed and make her hit hard, and it worked. But it's still going to need to be at least 5-star.
Yeah, I mean, my Skull Crown is already my campaign farmer.
Oh, good. Okay.
She's well, funny story. She's also my at the moment my arena nuker, because she's the one person that I was like, okay.
Oh, she's great in arena.
Just gonna yeah, not only that, but I knew that I built her already to just do as much damage as possible.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's fair. It makes sense. But she's got to be fast for arena too. That's the hard part. She decently fast?
Yeah, no.
You can't forget about the speed, especially in arena. Arena's a speed game. In the blender comps, that's how it is too. You have to go first, or you're screwed with a blender comp.
Yeah.
There's no defense there. It's just pure hope you're going first, and hope your whatever is faster than their arbiter or whatever.
Yeah, I think when I build my blender comp, I'm gonna probably throw Prince Kymar into my speed lead position with frickin' the frat, because he's the alliance or the ally attack, and then go Skull Crown Senacia.
You're probably gonna need a speed booster though, honestly. Do you have Gorgorob?
Nope.
Okay, so he might be a better option. Because you're going to want someone not only that is a speed lead, but that can also boost you too, more than likely. Or it's going to be really hard to get those speeds to your other people. The arena calculator?
Yeah.
If you don't have a speed booster, then in order to not get cut in on, in order to have a successful blender, your speeds of your Senacia and your Skull Crown are going to have to be crazy high to match up to your Prince Kymar if he's your fastest champion, or whoever's your fastest champion. That's going to be that's the only hard part to consider. Apothecary can be your fastest champion, but even
I do have an Apothecary.
Because Skull Crown, it could be your speed lead.
Yeah.
So you don't need Prince Kymar to be the speed lead, actually. I would probably put Apothecary in there over that. Arbiter is obviously the ultimate goal for that. She's the perfect blender comp lead, because she boosts you as well.
I mean, right now my speed lead is high Katoon, so
Oh, that's fine
I might
too.
just
Yeah, just keep
I'm
that. That's
okay.
okay. High Katoon into and then Senacious Skullcrown and Farkin. That's all you need.
Okay.
So it looks like you've got some good gear here for Armiger. Even to do a couple Armigers. Honestly, for Scarab King, you probably could do 2 Armigers.
I'm okay with it.
And like, and there's some good gear here for that. There's some. He's gonna need accuracy. He's gonna need some speed, or he's gonna at least need to. Yeah, he needs 100. Remember, Armiger needs 100% crit rate. That's the big important thing for him, or he doesn't reduce turn meter.
That's what I learned about Allure late.
Oh yeah, her
recently.
too. You're like, oops.
I looked at it. I was like, people are like blowing Allure up. Hold on just a second.
Oh, you're good.
People are like blowing Allure up and saying Allure's like a crazy carry in dungeons and all this crazy things. I'm like, I'm sitting here looking at my Allure and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong because she is terrible.
But you didn't have crit.
And then I was like, okay, I am gonna literally like word for word. I'm gonna read every little letter and period on everything. And then the first thing I clicked on, her A1. Oh,
Oops. That's funny.
that's where I learned.
That is funny. All right, so I'm just gonna start at the top now. We kind of went over. I just kind of did some of those niche sets. Let's just look at everything. So yeah, life's obviously, even though it's 6-star, eh.
It does have accuracy on it though.
I mean, yeah, actually, well, we could save this as a mix set possible piece, but that would only be the use for this though. Yeah, attack and accuracy. Mix set only if you get lucky. I mean, it's gonna be hard to use that, I would think. Especially as life, because like you're probably gonna be able to find something else. I mean, it depends on it. Like it's hard because it depends on your gear. That's the reality. Do we have a? You do have a bit of accuracy. You're gonna get accuracy gear from farming dragon now. Remember too. Oops, I didn't mean to sell all that.
Don't do it.
No, don't do that. All right, I'll save that one, but I really don't think you should.
All right, as long as I can keep one.
Well, we'll keep this one. This is a good one. This could be put on someone who you're trying to make tanky but still do a little damage. That's not terrible.
Right.
At least until you get doing Nightmare
Ooh,
Clan Boss.
wait. Oh no, dang it. He's defense based. So I was like, you wouldn't run HP on Alton.
Oh, yeah. Alright, let's see here. There's definitely... I mean, it's so hard to see. Like, 'cause I'm so used to not even thinking about offense in life because there's so much cruel and an immortal, but until you get doing Nightmare Clan Boss, you're not going to have much of that now, are you? It's good gear, though. It's really good. It's worth it. Eventually.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Defense, obviously you want that on a tanky person. I used a lot of defense gear on my normal clan boss teams too, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the key. Defense and land your debuffs. Defense and accuracy. What is Hell Hades ASDD? Accuracy, speed, defense, then worry about your damage.
Yeah.
Like, that's so true for traditional clan boss teams.
Yeah.
Hey, what was this? Crit damage? Ugh. No. Alright, let's see. Speed gear, that's going to be your best friend. So, eventually you want to get to where you don't save any speed gear that doesn't have a speed substat, because that's what its job is, but we're not quite there yet. That's all, but at the same time, if it's really good otherwise, like you got lucky on some crit rate roll or something, I might keep something, because at least you know you're getting speed from the overall.
Yeah.
Oh, why is it only the good things are on the 4-star stuff, of course. Go figure. Nah, you'll be good. You're going to be grinding some dragon. We don't need to keep any 4-star speed gear now. None of the dragon gear. Now, if you can farm dragon 20, don't keep any 4-stars from the past. Just get rid of it.
Okay.
Because you're just going to replace it. It's it's pretty easy to farm. Well, I don't want to say easy, but you're going to be only getting 5 and 6 star gear, so you'll get replacements. A lot of these have flat attack thrown in there too. Flat defense. Ay. Flat. Look at this crit rate with flat stat. This is a trend here. All of these helmets.
I'm a trendy person. What can I say?
All the helmet. So we're gonna have to roll those and see if you can get a. If you get the crit rate, keep it. If not, I would bin it. But then definitely get rid of the 4s. I don't want to get rid of all that because it is speed gear and you're limited. But try to you can roll all those up to 4 and see which ones actually land some crit rate, and then maybe get rid of the ones that don't. All right, unpausing for live video. Guys, what is happening? What's happening? Divine offense.
She broke the game.
It says it's frost gear. I was just trying to go through and just finish off this and then come back to the YouTube vid, but what this okay, it really is offense. You can see that here, but it's not offense.
No, that's frost. That is definitely frost.
So what the fudge is happening? So let's go to accessories. So I treat accessories on a very, very different basis than artifacts, because it all depends on what you got. Like you said, you're not doing your Spider 20 yet, so you're not going to have the variety you need either, as far as 6, 5, and 6 star that you probably wish you had. So when it comes down to things, there's a lot to remember here too. So rings can only get flat stats. They can only get HP, attack, and defense flat as their main stat.
Okay.
And when it comes to dealing with rings, I try to pair up stats with each other. Like an attack percentage ring, you want it to roll flat attack ring, you want it to roll attack percentage. Defense ring, you want it to roll defense percentage. Because that's like when it comes to rings, I like to have that be the last piece I personally put on a champion, because I can fill the gaps of what I'm missing. Much like a helmet, actually. Oops, I just clicked off. But, so helmets can have every substat in the game. Maybe I should rewind. So these can have everything for stats except for defense.
Yeah.
Helmets can have every substat. Shields can have everything except attack percentage. So
I did not know this.
Yeah. That's like important to know. So because helmets can have every single substat, and that should be the last regular gear piece you put on yourself. Because normally we don't want to put your banner on first, and then your amulet, and then your boots, and then chest and gloves, and then probably then shield or that doesn't really matter, or a weapon. I keep calling weapon that as if I don't know what a weapon is.
That over there.
That thing over there.
We don't know what that is.
Whatever that is.
But that's something.
That thing. But the helmet is the last piece of the puzzle for a lot of people, but my last piece of the puzzle is rings, because that can kind of be the filling in the gap as well. So like if you after you do everything, you realize you're still a little squishy on the defense or a little squishy on the HP, then you fill in the gap. Or if you're just doing straight nuke, if you're doing a straight nuke and you know you're going to do attack percentage everything, like attack percentage ring, crit damage, amulet, whatever, then you can automatically just go straight for it. But if you're not sure what you're going to need to fill, as far as maybe someone that you know you're going to need to help keep alive, you're going to want to put defense or HP, then I tend to save the ring for last, because that can be a big boost in stat. Unless you know you're limited and you got to take what you can get.
Will it mess things up if I take my camera off for 2 seconds?
But all right.
Look, it didn't mess up anything.
We're back. All right, so when I look at accessories, I look at each substat individually. So I start with, well, I guess we'll go back. Obviously, we were talking about rings, sorry. Rings, they only could be HP, attack, defense. Amulets are crit damage percent, of course. And then we have crit damage, and then we have... Wait, hold on. Let me just do this. There we go. HP, attack, defense, crit damage. You can see what the stats can be right there. Same thing here. You can see what those stats can be just by clicking on it. And banners can be HP, attack, defense, resistance, or accuracy. So you kind of know if you're building a nuker, you're going to go straight for crit damage amulets. The only exception being, again, we're talking about like an astrolith, like a bomb champion that doesn't need to crit, or you're not worried about crit damage for other skills. That can just be pure attack percentage because bombs scale based on attack. But I like to go through overall one stat at a time. So we know HP is a stat for most things. And I get rid of the worst of my HP stuff. Like, you only need so many of each thing. You're only going to build so many champions for each faction. So I would get rid of, like... In this case, you don't have too many options. But, like, I definitely keep this one, just even though there's that. But it's worth getting rid of the 1 3-star piece. Yeah. Or same thing here. You have... I mean, in a perfect world, you want that. Hopefully, this rolls HP percentage, but we don't know. But you have a few options here. This one's already rolled up, so I would leave that for like faction wars for now. Although 3-star is pretty low. You only have a few 5-star though, and you only have one of those and one of those. So you might need them.
I don't do spider at all.
Yeah, it's the hard part. It's kind of this is the way I like to look at stuff. You can see what you got easier. Look at each individual stat at a time. So you're like, oh shit, I have 12 rings that are HP percentage. I don't need that many rings. Like, then you can know to get rid of your worst ones, and keep the best of the bunch. Right here you have three 5-star amulets. You're not going to put that on very often, so I would probably get rid of the 4-star. And then these are probably going to be depending on what the substat is. We have an HP percent there, flat defense, and HP percent. So let's just get rid of that flat defense because we know it's the worst of the bunch. I try to only keep 1 row at most of each substat, each artifact. You probably don't need more than 5 or 6 of anything. But you need something, because something's better than nothing early on, especially with this. Yeah, like you have a 1-star ring, but you're probably not going to put that on anything. Because...
Everything. Put it on everything!
The problem is that 1-star, little bit of 60, you can get that in a substat on something else just by having, well, those are not good examples, but yeah. You can get a flat stat, something else. I would get rid of that. Definitely no reason to keep a 1-star. You get those from doing campaign.
What if I want to make my life really hard and only use 1-star gear?
Good luck. Yeah, and same thing. Rings, I'm stacking attack. So we're on attack percentage now. All attack percentage amulets you're barely going to use. So that's something you can only keep like 1 of per faction, if anything. Maybe 2. Ideally with accuracy substat in case the bombs need accuracy, but like Astrolith doesn't, so you can... If you had her, you wouldn't keep it. She's just my easy example as a bomb champion. But just go through and look at each thing at a time and be like, okay, I don't need that many of them. Or you don't have that many options, so I guess you got to keep them. But here, like, when it comes to building a bomb champion, you'll probably want to choose between your best options there. So we'll get rid of the weak options. And we got defense. Defense you're going to mostly use on like traditional clan boss people or defense-based champions. Got some reaction gear there. That's fun. Get that on somebody. When it comes to reaction gear for arena, you kind of don't care what the stats are. You just put it on someone.
Okay.
Because it could be just such a big difference in staying alive or not.
Yeah.
My Siffy has an attack reaction ring, for example. Both of my Siffys do, but that's okay. She's not an attack person, but it's more important to have that amazing ability. The blood shield rings are really fun too. Especially if you get a seer team, putting those on the other people that are part of the seer team. I have one on my seer, just so she puts another buff up for seer to strip.
Yeah.
You don't have too many defense stuff here, so you might really need those for clan boss people if you do traditional, so I'm not going to get rid of too much there. The next stat would be crit damage, which are just amulets. Probably don't have too many. Yeah, not too many here, so I guess we'll keep those because you might need to roll a crit damage amulet, and then you might want some accuracy. So this one, actually, we could get rid of. You're not this one. We don't need. There's no way you're gonna need the one with resistance at that point. But accuracy you might need. if you're trying to land some debuffs. So I like to start with the banner because you know what the banner is going to be for sure. If you're doing a damage dealer, then I put crit damage amulet on next, and I look for if they're placing debuffs, I look for accuracy substats. If they're not placing any debuffs, then I look for resistance substats, because why not? You might as well try to resist some stuff along the way.
Yeah.
And the other substats on the amulets are just the flat stats. You can't have any percentages on the amulets on the substats.
Okay.
Now, resistance banners are going to, again, be a pretty endgame thing like we talked about, or endgame faction wars or Doom Tower. But
yeah, right now I'm actually in the process, because I learned something actually with my Brogni, is that I need to land debuffs, or I need to be accurate, so getting accuracy banners for my main people that are landing the debuffs, that's
the biggest thing. Yeah, and you don't have many, so those are valuable to you right now, I see. Yeah.
Yep.
Those are really, really valuable, especially when that's like the big jump when you're trying to deal with a level 50 person versus a level 60 person, trying to get enough accuracy to still land debuffs. It's like you can't wait to get them 60 to where they can finally wear a banner, and then it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of goes. That's kind of my quick process for stuff. I don't look at things individually as I get them. So as you get stuff in Spider, unless you get 3-star stuff and get rid of it, or 4-star stuff and you have enough. But honestly, you still need 4-star stuff at this point, because you don't have that many options for some things. Oops, how did this little guy sneak through? Go away. So don't look at things as you get them. Don't worry about just new. Don't even worry about that. Just look at things every time you decide to cycle through. Get a whole bag batch and then look at this and just go to each substat, see what you got and compare it to itself versus compare it to your whole instead of just analyzing it as an individual accessory.
Yeah.
And how that can help kind of see what you keep there. Because before you really get farming Spider 20, you kind of need to you kind of get desperate for just anything.
Yeah.
Any random questions from what we've talked about? I mean, I know it's honestly, a lot, but
yeah, and that's kind of why, I broke down a few notes, but I'm sure that I'll probably need a little bit more help.
Yeah,
but
just let me know.
I've at least gotten to past the flat stats, looking at attack percentage gloves, and then boot speed, low stats or low stars.
Yeah.
And then boots that don't have speed on them, period, for substats.
It really is a big help. The only exception might be a Hegemon. Because, some people don't worry about any speed at all in Hegemon because they're just pure damage. They're hoping they go first and they just nuke. And then you just go pure damage and it doesn't really matter. So that'd be the one. But that would probably have, if you're going to go super, super nuke Hegemon, you'd have a Savage set. So, maybe if you have a Savage 6-star boot for some Hegemon someday, that might be about it. With no speed on it, I mean.
But I think that's it. I do appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really cover this. This is a long video. It's a really long video. And I meant to space it up more and stop more, but that's the reality of gear cleansing. It's not a quick process. It's frustrating. It takes forever. And it's not an easy answer. I could go through super quick. I could go through every single set and be keep this, keep this, keep this, or if this and this and this, but it's it'd be such an information overload. In order to actually start going through things, it takes a lot of time. It's not fun. It's long. It's a long process.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll close out the video here. Thank you for joining me, and hope to help, and hope this helps other people watching.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. No problemo. I appreciate you hanging out in my chats.